Today, we're going to talk about Canvas Best Practice 3, providing clear guidance for absent students. With the presence of COVID-19 and the myriad of other reasons students may be absent, it is a matter of equity to provide sufficient work materials in Canvas. We would suggest and require that you have a very clear and obvious absent button on your homepage to eliminate any guesswork for students and families when they go to your Canvas page looking for information about what to do when they're absent. The button should link to a common page that's provided in Commons that provides some details on how you will support absent students. And then you should also provide Zoom information should it be determined that an absent student will access class in that way. Some of the materials that we have here for you is, we'll come back to this one. This is a way to get your classroom devices set up to have a student Zoom in while class is in session. This is an image of what you should look for when you go to Commons. You'll see this button and this will provide you what you need. We'll go through that process. This is a link to the Commons posting, but really Commons is kind of difficult to work with when linking. So it's easiest to just click on the Commons button from the global navigation menu. And if you should have any trouble accessing the absent button, which is there in Commons, it's also linked here. So if I click this, it will open this and you can open it up in Canva, download it, and add it to your own course. But I do want to emphasize that you don't have to use this style of button. We just created this to make it easy for you. But if it doesn't fit into your decor scheme of Canvas, you're welcome to design your own. Again, just make sure that it's very obvious to students and families which button or where to go when they're absent. So heading over to Canvas, like I said, if you click on Commons here in the global navigation menu, and you're logged in to your P-CCS account, it should be the very first option when you enter Commons. So go ahead and click on it. And you can see there's a little message, teachers delete before publishing. This page should be published in your course and linked by a button on your course homepage. Look at the prompts below and delete any that do not apply and link any necessary information. If you need a button, again, there's a link to the button here that you can download. This one, I believe, will open in Google Drawings. It'll prompt you to make a copy, and then you can download it and upload it into your course. This page is meant to have general information for students to check. It doesn't really need to be updated daily unless you really want to, but it's just meant to be general. So let's go through some of this process so you can follow it completely. So I'm going to go ahead with the Google Drawings one, and I'm going to make a copy of this button. And the button is ready to go. I just need to download it to my computer. So I go to File, Download, and JPEG or PNG. Either one should work. PNG is a little bit higher quality. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. All right. Next, we need to import this page. So I will click Import. And I need to choose the course I want it to go into. So I'm going to grab this sandbox course of mine and click Import into course. You successfully started the import. It tells me it might take a little while, probably not too long because it's just one page. So now I'm going to go to that course, my sandbox, And I'm going to go to the home page, which actually I think might be set to modules, which I don't want it to be. So I'm going to choose the home page. And it looks like I still need to set a front page, which is something that was covered last week. So let's go to my pages. And I can see the when I'm absent button has arrived. And I'll just want to make sure that that's published. And for this one, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and make this my front page. So when I go to home, now I can choose my front page and save. So I'm going to add in the absent button. So I'm going to edit the home page. This isn't exactly an actual home page, so don't be too concerned about that. I'm going to go ahead and center it. And I need to upload the image that needs to go in here. Or you can try the Canva link. So I have my absent button set to go. I'm going to add my alt text so that screen readers know where this button is going. I'm going to click submit. So now I have a very clear button on my homepage, but I need to make sure that it's linked to the when I'm absent page. So I'm going to select the button and go to links and course links. That's going to bring up the course links that are possible on the right-hand side of the page. And I need to link this to the when I'm absent page. There it is. If you have a whole lot of pages already built in your course, it does list alphabetically. So scroll down to the W's and I'm selecting when I'm absent. A little yellow flash occurred telling me that it's now linked. So I'm going to save that and just test that my link works. And I click absent. It brings me to this page. Now I have some cleaning up to do here. So I'm going to click edit. I'm going to remove the pieces that I was told to delete before publishing. And for me, let's say, how do I find out what I missed in class? And I'm going to say the day's agenda is linked on the homepage, just to direct them to where it goes. If I want, then I could link them back to the homepage, which is always going to stay the same. So I know that this is my homepage. So now they're linked to home. How do I find out what I missed in class? That's where, what did we do today? Not necessarily that they have to make up everything, but so that they know what happened in class that day. But what is it that they are responsible to finish? So for me, I'm going to delete this information because this doesn't apply to me as much. And I'm going to say go to the modules and look for the current unit referenced in the daily agenda. And in this case, I'm going to link to the modules page. So I'm going to go to course links. And instead of pages, I'm going to go to course navigation and send them to modules. And hopefully I've used this in class regularly so they know how to navigate the modules page fairly well. It's up to you how much you want to update it. If it's more helpful for your students that you link them directly to the part of the module that you're on for that day, That will require some more updating, or if you want to update it maybe weekly and you can send them instead. Here, let me remove this link. I don't believe I have any modules in this sandbox course, but if I say course links, and okay, I have a module there. So let's say this template pack is the current module that we're in. This will at least direct them specifically to the module that we're on. And perhaps then you only have to update that every couple of weeks. And then finally, how do I get help? I would maybe delete this and say, contact me via the inbox in Canvas. So they don't even have to leave Canvas and go to their email and worry about that. They can use the inbox to communicate. So again, by doing this, I don't have to really update this very often, but it gives a clear place to look. This page in and of itself is just a helpful place, a helpful guide for you. But if you have something else that you want to direct people to that absent button and have some more specific information about your class, you're welcome to do that. So that's on the Canvas side. And finally, I want to point you to, in this Wakelet resource, we have a link to a technical guide to Zoom live stream. So this will bring you over to this document, and it gives you some ideas about what you can do to set up your classroom. So you can plug in your laptop with the HDMI, and there's a picture there of what that looks like. And then we would recommend that you enable extended display on your computer. This allows your interactive whiteboard, so where you might be displaying things for your class, to be a screen that comes up for students. And then your Zoom window can be up on your laptop screen, essentially giving you dual screens and allowing kids, when you're sharing that second screen of your interactive whiteboard, to have a clear look about what's going on, and you don't have to have Zoom displayed on the whiteboard. When you're in extension mode, you can create a new window in Chrome and drag the window to the right or left of your screen. I think it defaults to the right, and a new window will show up. We also would really highly suggest that you use your microphone system, especially if you're having somebody come in through Zoom. That way, wherever you are in the classroom, students in Zoom will be able to hear you. And then you probably want to enable live closed captions. That way, if it's a little bit hard to hear, the closed captions will help pick up what you're saying, and students will be able to view it. And that closed captions button, there's a link here for how to do that. It's right on the main menu of Zoom. And then once all the steps are in place, welcome students into Zoom, share your screen to your smartboard, and make sure your microphone is on so that they can hear you. And then we have some other tips here about pinning your video, trying to keep them on for a concise amount of time. And there's also a new mode of Zoom session and focus mode. So students are only viewing your video and not other people that are in the call. If you have multiple students joining from Zoom due to a quarantine issue, it's highly recommended that you put the Zoom session in focus mode. That way you don't have to be monitoring and managing so much of what the students are doing on the Zoom video. So you're welcome to go through this. Many teachers have found it helpful for how to get everything set up if a student is going to join via Zoom. So that wraps it up for this week's guidance on how to provide clear guidance for absent students using Canvas.